In this video, my main objective is to introduce you to a great visionary poet named William Blake. He was an English poet, painter, and printmaker. He was born at Soho, London on 28 November 1757 and passed away at Charing Cross, London on 12 August 1827. William Blake was also called a transitional poet who, like Thomas Gray, contributed to the transition from the new classical to the romantic age. Largely unrecognized during his lifetime, Blake is now considered a seminal figure in the history of the poetry and visual arts of the romantic age. The Tyger is a poem by the English poet William Blake, was published in 1794. Literary critic Alfred Cajun calls it the most famous of his poems, and the Cambridge Companion to William Blake says it is the most anthological poem in English. The first thing we notice is the unusual spelling of the word tiger, that is Tyger. Although Dr. Samuel Johnson mentioned it as an alternative form of the more common spelling tiger, Tiger. Blake's spelling conveys a unique feeling. His poem is not a group of words presented in a linear fashion, but it is a visual object. This poem is taken from the Songs of Experience. The tiger itself is a symbol for the forces in the soul that are necessary to break the bonds of experience. The Tyger is a highly symbolic poem based on Blake's personal philosophy of spiritual and intellectual revolution by individuals. The speaker in the poem is puzzled at the sight of the tiger in the night, and he asks a series of pertinent questions in a span of 24 short lines. Let me analyze stanza 1. Tiger, tiger burning bright in the forests of the night, what immortal hand or eye could frame thy purple symmetry? The poem begins with a picture of the tiger with its eyes burning bright in the night. The very nature of creation is invoked here, the tiger being a powerful symbol. Then follows a series of questions, with the line beginning, what immortal hand or eye? The dark forest is also suggestive of the human mind, complicated and unpredictable. It is here that the critics have drawn our attention to the influence of the French Revolution, which is just symbolic of the spirit of revolution. The poet, wondering at the creation of the tiger, asks what immortal hand could have created its fearful symmetry? The implication being that only some divine hand, rather than a mortal hand, could have created the tiger, which is both a work of art and a source of terror. The word symmetry, in combination with the adjective fearful, brings out this suggestion. Stanza 2. In what distant deeps or skies burnt the fire of thine eyes? On what wings dare you aspire? What the hand dare seize the fire? The fire image implied in the opening lines is developed in the second stanza. The fire in the tiger's eye, Blake seems to suggest, would not be available on earth. He who created the tiger must have patched it from some distant region, distant deeps or skies. The daring of the creator fills the poet's mind with a sense of mystery and wonder. The poet wonders about the way in which the artist soared about to patch the fire, on what wings dare aspire, what the hand dare seize the fire. Stanza number 3. And what soldier and what art could twist the sinews of thy heart? And when thy heart began to beat, what dread hand and what dread feet? In this stanza, the qualities of the work of art are associated with those of the artist. Here, we learn as much about the ferocious animal as about its creator. The tiger derives its muscular energy from its creator, because the creator also must have had the strength and energy of the tiger. Here the poet has written, and what soldier and what art could twist the sinews of thy heart. Stanza 4. What the hammer, what the chain, and what furnace was thy brain? What the anvil, what dread grasp, dare its deadly terrors clasp? This stanza shows the universe as a great smithy, and God the creator and the artist was a blacksmith with tremendous courage. In sheer amazement, the poet asks what implements could have been used to save the tiger. Note the words hammer, chain, and anvil, all implements that form an important part of his smithy. Stanza 5. When the stars threw down their spears, and what had happened with their tears, did he smile his work to see? Did he who made the lamb make thee? In this stanza, the poet brings home to us the fact of the creation of the ferocious tiger on the universe. The guardian angels, their stars, they feel utterly helpless and wept for the meek lamb. They were said that the gentle lamb had to live with the cruel tiger. Could God then be content with what he had done? Could he smile with satisfaction at his work? The poet wonders how God could have created both the tiger and the lamb, much to the consternation of revolting angels. The poet wonders why God has created both good and evil. The tiger and the lamb are the two faces of the same divine being. Here we have an allusion to the successful revolt of the angels against God in heaven and their subsequent fall. Blake seems to be unsure of God's reaction. Does God smile at the revolt for which he himself has created? Stanza 6. Tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forests of the night, what immortal hand or eye dare frame thy fearful symmetry? The poem ends with the poet impressing on us the courage of the Creator through the word dare. It is the poet's vision of harmony, good, and evil. It is a mystic vision, especially in a religious sense. The vision arose perhaps as a reaction against the 18th century moralists, who were fond of tracing a perfect and Bayesian pattern in creation. Blake's poems seem to challenge this conception. His tiger has symmetry. It is fashioned by a divine craftsman, but it is unique, burning, or inspiring, and its symmetry is fearful. Let us focus on critical comments. At its primary level, the tiger is an expression of the poet's wonder at the mystery of creation. It has other layers of meaning too. Some critics notice religious and political implications in the poem. The poem appeals to all classes of readers. We can respond to it as a poem which makes us feel the cruelty and the terror of the tiger. We can read it as a poetic statement about the forces of evil present in our universe. It is a poem about the energy and the daring of the Creator. But more importantly, the tiger is seen as a symbol of fire which purifies, a symbol of revolutionary forces around the world. The poem has poet's theme, the double nature of the universe. The poet expresses his astonishment through a series of questions. The poet contemplates on the wonder and variety of God's creation, and his unmeasurable strength as well as his abundant love for his creatures. Blake's two poems, The Tiger and the Lamb, can be considered profitable as companion pieces. Both poems have a symbolic level of meaning. They complement each other and suggest some thoughtful conclusion that emerges from a series of questioning. It is important to understand that innocence and experience are the two contrasting states of mind. Innocence was for Blake the original consciousness of life, experience a state of lesser knowledge. Blake does not use the word innocence in the sense of inexperience. Let us sum up. What to gather from the poem is that only a divine artist could create this tiger, which is at once a work of art and a source of terror. The creator also must have had the strength and energy of the tiger, There is a feeling of awe at that artist's ability to stand before his fearful creation. At the turn of the 18th century, there was a reaction against artificial poetry. William Wordsworth, the well-known Romantic poet, brought about a revolutionary in poetry. The humble and rustic life and the preoccupation with primary feelings of mankind came to be associated with Romantic poetry. Legends gave places to imagination. Some of these features of the Romantic school of poetry were anticipated by transitional poets like Blake, Burns, Collins, and Cooper. William Blake is a precursor of the Romanticism with his lyrical genius and interest in the common man. Two important aspects of the poem are mysticism for its inspiration, symbolism for its expression. They constitute its originality and greatness. Thank you for learning English with RANA'S.